right, another Aldo Lato film here. Another Giallo on this midnight movies triple pack. Bloodstained Shadow, Short Night of Glass Dolls, and Who Saw Her Die? We did. Short Night of Glass Dolls. Let's discuss it. Shall we?
We shall.
All right. So, we got this guy. The premise here is pretty cool and unique to this subgenre of horror for sure. This is not something new to us, but at this time when it came out, this was definitely probably more fresh than it is now. I know we've seen films like this. There was that Stephen King story where the guy is in the autopsy room. We discussed it on the Nightmares and Dreamscapes coverage that we did. But this one deals with this guy who is in the morgue. He's dead. It's over for him. He's had it. Finito. Fine. As these movies always end. And but he's not dead. And he is like trying to go back through his memory to try to figure out what the hell happened to him. To try to see if that can somehow help him call out, even though he can't move. I don't know what going through his memory is really going to do for him. But he does. And that's the movie. Yeah. So, the premise really is very cool.
Yes,
I like constantly going back to him, seeing that there's a guy who's convinced, like, he's got to be alive. His temperature is not going down. Right. Like, that's not normal. Yeah. Right? This is how we gauge time of death is by the liver temp and all that stuff. It all drops down to room temperature eventually. But his body ain't going down. And he ain't going down without a fight. So we then find out his story. And his story is that he is in this relationship with this chick played by Barbara Brock, who we know from the movie Unseen, a slasher that we watched maybe about a year ago or so. Yeah. I think that was one of the ones we actually reviewed, because we watched like 13 in a row, and we only reviewed maybe 2 or 3 of them, which sucked because we watched so many that we really wanted to talk about. Yes. And I even took notes for half of them. Yeah. And we never ended up doing them. So that was a huge waste of time outside. Well, it wasn't a waste of time because we enjoyed them, but it was a huge waste of time for the channel. Yeah. Because that would have been a lot more content for you guys. That would have been fun to discuss. So what a bummer.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. The one I'm really bummed we didn't cover is the Tiny Tim clown slasher.
Blood Harvest.
Yeah.
I know.
I had notes for that one and everything, and man, that one was fucking weird.
It was so weird.
Anyway. But so they want to be together. He's going to get her out of the country. Yep. And then, of course, before he can, she disappears, and he's looking for her. That's always what happens in these.
Always.
Somebody's missing, and somebody goes out looking, and they start interrogating people and trying to be their own detective, and the cops never believe them, and whatever. That's just always these things. Mm-hmm. And he has some chick that's like aggressively all about him.
It's like his boss?
Business partner at the paper.
I think it's his boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't remember, but they're coworkers for sure. She's super into him. I really liked the concept in this. Like, as you said, we've seen it before, but I like the format too of cutting between him being dead, on the slab, and him trying to remember and taking us back to the past, and in those moments, like, I think that was really cool. I liked the jumping around in the time, and it was interesting to be like, okay, we're in the future, like, now we got to go back and figure out like how we got here. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah.
He eventually gets himself led to Club 99, and there's all these like seemingly dead people who are listening to music.
Yeah,
they seriously look straight up dead.
They look like the people from Carnival of Souls.
Yeah.
The dead people.
Yeah, they're corpses, dude, straight up.
Yeah.
And they're actually like cult members who, as far as like what ends up being, they somehow like kill these young people to control the world and to crush freedom.
Yeah.
And it kind of made sense when they were talking about it in the moment, sort of ish, that it was like they were crushing the like the youths, like I don't know, their hopes, and like they were like optimistic about the things, and it was like, no, we're in control. I don't know, there's a more poetic way to put that, but I'm too dumb. In the moment, I was definitely like, huh, interesting. I don't really know how this works. But he goes in and he finds this place, and he just misses her body.
Yes.
Like he's like, you know, looking around the place, and then they find him and kick him out. And then like the caretaker or whoever the hell is like, good thing you didn't open this door. And she's like laid out on a freaking Thanksgiving platter.
Dude, yeah, I know. Good thing you didn't check in here.
Yeah. But then they plant that body on his ass in his refrigerator.
Yes.
And then he immediately like grabs the murder weapon and puts his fingerprints all over it, and then runs from the cops. I'm like, bro, you couldn't make yourself look
more of a suspect.
Like suspicious. So
yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then they, you know, finally catch up with him, and they're like, you're going to be trapped in your mind and buried alive.
Awful. Terrible.
But
horrible
then,
thing.
like, because I don't know if this is because he is starting to wake up, because they were like, we're gonna bury you alive, and I guess it's because I think I get this, because they're like, we need to perform an autopsy, and the guy was like, no, we're not gonna perform an autopsy, because they wanted
him
to bury
stay
him
alive. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we find out that one of the cult members, the guy with like the glasses, he ends up being the guy who performs the autopsy, and it's like revealed to us last second. But yeah, usually you think these guys are going to get out of this. That's what we're used to, because he starts to move his hand, and the girl's like looking, and the other doctor who's been trying to bring him back the whole movie is like sitting right there, and you're like, he's gonna see his hand move.
He's gonna move, and
then the guy, like, we get the reveal that it's part of the cult.
Yep.
And he sees the hand move, and he grabs it and pushes it down, and then just cuts into him.
Oof.
Now, this is the scene I don't understand at all. The ending is the chick up in the, you know, observation area. She screams out, and then the credits roll. I don't know what this means. I don't know what that is. It didn't seem like she knew. Yeah. It didn't seem like she could see. And he grabs the hand and pushes it down, and he cuts into him, and she screams out. And I don't understand. Does she think he was just murdered, or did he like pop up like when he stabbed? Or I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
No, I don't think he popped up, but that's a good thought, though. Yeah, I take it as she saw him move and is like, they just killed a living man. Or I would say the other way you could take it, if for some reason she didn't notice that he was moving.
But why didn't he yell out? Why didn't she yell out like, no, he's still alive?
Yeah.
You know,
it's just that she's like shocked by the gruesomeness of it. You know,
she's just screaming because seeing an autopsy is so horrifying.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
I think she does see him move, but I agree. She should be like, stop, wait, like he's moving.
Yeah. I didn't understand that at all.
Yeah. So
that was confusing.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's cool. Mm-hmm. I still think the ending is haunting, and I think is a very good part of the film. But I don't know. The one thing that definitely disconnected me from him, and I was kind of like whatever about him at that point, was he's seemingly in love with this girl who goes missing, and he's out looking for her, and then this chick who's pushing herself on him she then, while they're looking for her potential dead body, and they definitely are led to believe that there's some foul play going on here, and she could actually be dead, he decides to fuck this girl.
Yeah, he sleeps
like in
with
the
her.
midst of it, and
Yeah.
it's like, what?
I know.
This should be the last thing on your mind right now. Like,
Yes.
what are you doing? And then after he screws her, then he's kind of just like, he pisses her off.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, well, like, I'm not going to be with you or whatever. And it's like, why did you have sex with her?
Absolutely.
I don't understand what you're doing. Aren't you
No.
like in love with this girl and you're trying to like
No.
find her? I think what we're supposed to be led to be believed here is that she left him.
Yes.
And he's like reeling from it and being like, well, fine, fuck her. But
Yeah.
I guess the problem is that he never wavers in that. It never feels like he concedes.
Yeah.
It always feels like he's gung-ho in his assumption that she's been kidnapped or killed or something nefarious has happened.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I know her. We're in love. And it's like, are you?
Right.
Why are you out screwing someone when she's missing?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I thought that was really weird too. But yeah, I think he is supposed to just be like doubting in that moment that she left him or whatever. And so then he has sex with this other woman. But
It's been like a day.
I know. It's weird.
It's not like he's been looking
weird.
for her
I
for
think it's
years
weird.
and people are like, dude, you need to get over it. And he's fine. Like that I would understand.
Sure.
I'd be like, dude, yeah, okay. Maybe it is time to move on.
Yeah.
You know, and then you do it and then you go, fuck, what did I do? No, I still love her and I can't. You know, something like that I would have been like, okay, fine. But like, her body's not even cold yet.
No.
And you're supposed to like, I gotta have her. She's, you know, we're in love. And you're like banging some other chick while you're in the process of looking for
Yeah.
her. That
It's super weird.
Imagine like when we watched Breakdown or The Vanishing
Sure.
or something. And like when he's looking for her in that, he just stops somewhere and bangs some chick.
know.
It would make
It would
no
take
sense.
you totally out of it, but that is like like you said, like you kind of lose your investment in him
Sure.
because of that action where you're like, what?
Well, it doesn't make me want him to wake up as bad.
Right.
I'm like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, you're like, well, I guess not.
Yeah, I guess whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, good time.
It was good.
Yeah.
This one was probably my favorite of these three. I
It's
think.
got a cool
Yeah.
concept, and
Yeah.
it's unique.
Yes.
So, it's got that.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, we got one more. Let's move on to it.
Bye.